So my friends, welcome to a new altcoin update video. Today it's about Avalanche. So Avax was requested under the last video. If you have more altcoin requests, of course, write them in the video comments below so that I know which requests or which altcoins interest you at the moment, because I would like to start doing a bit more of these videos again. In any case, it's about Avalanche. $22 is quite a drop, really got hit hard in the last few days. Here on March 11th, our low point at $15. Since then, a very, very strong recovery. So you have to give Avalanche credit for that. At one point, it pumped 55%, still up 43%. It just barely missed our buy order, but I'll definitely get to that later in the video. If you're interested, feel free to stay tuned until the end. We'll look at where potential buying prices are and where potential selling zones are, for sure. That will definitely be interesting. Before we start, leave a like, subscribe, and feel free to check out the Telegram, the free Telegram chat and Signal group if you're interested. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade Avalanche, for example, or also buy spot or anything else, all other coins, of course, you can do that with my partner exchange BingX. There are currently USDT bonuses to grab, so just sign up using the link below in the video description or in the comment section there. Avalanche, yes, 4-hour time frame. As I said, we had our dip down here to $15. Intense. I didn't really notice it, but our buying zone from the last bear market, it must be said, is still at, where do we have it here? $14. So down here we also have an inefficiency, which is also the reason for this buying zone. Let's switch to the daily time frame here, where you can see it a bit more clearly. The buying zone simply consists of this area from the price increase we had here on November 10th, 2023. There is still an inefficiency that the market should actually address before we can expect rising prices again. This means the first 50% buy order is between 14 and 12.50, and the second zone remains at 9.18 to approximately 7.50, but that would really be bear market prices for Bitcoin in US dollars, then we can talk about such prices. But as I said, these are the spot buying zones. We can remove the green box. It was just intended as support. Otherwise, as I said, we have now had a short-term small upward movement, small in quotes, of 50%, but we are still in a downtrend, meaning we continue to form lower highs and lower lows. Plus, we still have this overarching yellow downtrend line that I have just drawn for you, which means as long as we are not above it, we remain in a downward trend, and it doesn't look like it will be broken immediately. If we draw another line here, we can also say, okay, this is more of a trend channel. But it's not really exemplary, one must say. Currently, the volume is also decreasing, so nothing looks bullish at the moment, to be fair. This means the chance that we will see another pullback on a daily basis down into this zone around $14 is currently very high. Still, one should also prepare for the bullish case. If our support holds down here in the area from 19 to approximately $18 and the support holds here, then we would have a higher low, which could lead us to say, okay, maybe buy a small position with 10-15% to take advantage of a larger move upwards. Because then it would also mean that the golden pocket of this entire downward movement, which I have already drawn for you, is up here at $40, and you know my theory, or rather. My strategy is to take out the initial investment after 100%, which means we could, with sensible risk management, if one buys in and perhaps takes advantage of a small preseason here, relatively early on, take out the initial investment again before we start thinking about the entire bull run here. And it must also be said the bull run was not really strong. We only went up to 56, or rather, briefly reached $66, which means we didn't even break the first or the golden pocket of this entire last downward movement from our last all-time high. Not really bullish, so you just take what you can get. Feel free to write your opinion in the comments. Are you invested in Avalanche? What are your goals? I would also be very, very interested in your price targets. And otherwise, I would say that's it for today's video. There's nothing more to say. The most important thing is the buying zone strategy, and especially where we then sell. So anything between 35 and $40 are, in my opinion, very, very good buying zones. Otherwise, I wish you a nice, successful day. Take care of yourselves. We'll hear from each other in the next video. Until then, ciao ciao, and as always, stay crypto.